Great. Welcome, everybody, to this session that you join in to hear more about the webinar about the topic from Università Cattolica, the Master in Management. So you will hear all about this, this topic and this field of. I'm the moderator of today, and before we go over to Milan, where all the presenters are lined up, I just want to briefly explain to you some of the interactive options that you have. So first of all, I already saw somebody did that. Great. In the chat, let us know where you're logging in from. It's great to see, of course, and hear the different people that are joining in from different locations. So thanks for your input there. But most of all, of course, the questions. If you have any questions, you can write them at any time. And do that, please, through the panel call question later on at the end. Also, I'll be opening up a couple of poll questions. For example, what is the most important to you in selecting a university program? I just open it up. So let us also know your feedback there. We gladly hear from you and get to know you a little bit better as well. And last but not least, we have a little fun button to even interact more with the presenters since they cannot see you. So it's always nice for them to get a feel that there's an audience listening, of course. So at the bottom, yes, there's all the react. Exactly. Click on that, you can give your reaction of your choice. And that way, we listen to you as well. So without further ado, let's go over to the presenters. As you can see on the screen right now, we have a lot of them, but we'll start off with Julia. She is the master of ceremony in this case, and she will be moderating the session alongside me. She will start it off. So good luck, Julia.
Thank you very much, Luke, actually. So, well, first of all, welcome everybody. I am Julia. I am from the marketing and recruitment team in Milan, from, of course, Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore. So I would like to introduce the other speakers, actually, before going over before going over to the speakers, I'm going to present the agenda for today. So we're going to see what we are going through today. So first of all, I will be doing a little presentation on Università Cattolica because sometimes you guys don't really know much about our university, and that's fine. There's a lot of universities around. So yeah, and it's just a little introduction on that. And then we're going to focus on the program a little bit. So we're going to talk about what the program is. And then actually we're going to have a little interview with Professor Hu. So she is actually going to dive deeper into the structure and the peculiarities of the program, etc. So yeah, it's going to be a little interview with her. And then after that, we are going to hear from two different alumnus. One is Irene, and one is Anna Chiara. They both studied the masters in management, but they, of course, took different paths afterwards. So it's interesting to hear of all the different career paths that you can get and all the stories, you know, from the alumnus we have. Then we also have a current student who's Elisa. We're also going to talk a little bit about her and her story and how she's getting along with like the course and the classroom, etc. Last but not least, we are going to have a little chat on the entry requirements because we do have some specific entry requirements that you should be aware of. And then there's going to be a Q&A session. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the button that Luke just presented you. We are going to try to answer to all of them, okay? Without further ado, these are the faces of the people I talked about 5 seconds ago. So Professor Lala, who at Università Cattolica, she's the coordinator of the program, and then Anna Chiara, Irene, and Elisa. So let's start with Università Cattolica, who we are and what our numbers are, because I always like to start with numbers. First of all, we are the largest known state university in Europe, of course, recognized and fully accredited. So we've been around for long enough to be actually pretty well known in Europe and Italy. Actually, we've been around since 1921, founded by Padre Agostino Gemelli. So yeah, it's been more than a century. What did we build in this more than a century of history? We built 5 different campuses across Italy. They cater to 12 different schools, starting from agriculture, going through psychology, business management. Also, there's quite a lot of literature, humanities. So it's a multidisciplinary university. We're going to look at that later on. But what we are most proud of is that we are giving a lot. We're put in a lot of effort into internationalization, and that shows in the overall number of international students. There's more, actually, almost 5,000 international students enroll in our 5 campuses, actually, the majority of them being in Milan, just because Milan is our biggest campus. And overall, we do have more than 40,000 students. So as I said, largest non-state university in Europe is for real. We have a lot of students. The effort to be an international institution is shown by the fact that we have more than 40 English taught programs at the undergraduate and graduate level. Actually, now it's more than 50 if you count undergraduate as well. But also we maintain a big chunk of our history in our Italian taught programs, both undergraduate and graduate, more than 200 Italian taught programs. So these are a little bit about the numbers that I like to talk about when I present and introduce my university to students, both in webinars and online fairs. But other than numbers, why would you choose to study in Cattolica? Well, I start by saying that our institution is a private institution. That means that the quality of teaching is definitely something that we care deeply about. That's why we set a very low student to teacher ratio compared to other universities in Italy and Europe. But also the fact that we are private means that we get higher funding for research and for student services. So we are definitely doing a good job in serving you and welcoming you with these funds that we get from being a private university. Last but not least, in Europe in particular, being private means being very connected to the job market. So Università Cattolica is very renowned, and actually a lot of private companies and public companies, they do value our graduates a lot. Also, the fact that we are private and we invest in research means that we have a strong academic profile, and you see that mirrored in the rankings that we appear on every single year. As I said, because we're deeply connected to the job market, we tend to be career-oriented more than theory-oriented, and also the fact that we are a very multidisciplinary school with lots of different subject areas taught in our campuses. It really caters to the academic excellence that I'm talking about and that you see pictured in this slide. The other thing that makes us proud is that our campuses are global and local at the same time. We invest in hosting international students, but we do want to stay connected to the local identity. So that means that we would never put a campus of agriculture in Milan because there's not a lot of fields to grow crops in or to have animals on in the center of Milan. But we did fund our management, business, and economics school in Milan because it is the economic capital of Italy. We try to integrate the faculties, the schools, and the local communities. And we try to give back to the communities that we are within. Last but not least, student experience. Our students feel a sense of welcome. It's because we have, as I said, student support services. We have student associations. So we invest in making you feel welcome and more at ease as we can. And actually, there's an international student office. I am part of this international office as well. And in general, also, one thing that we are proud of is that we have a lot of partners abroad. So even if you are already an international student, you can still choose to go abroad. You can still choose among very different experiences abroad. So that would be the fourth reason I would say that the overall experience that would lead you to consider an academic career in Cattolica. So we were talking about rankings. I always like to show the rankings that we have. So we are ranked in the top 400 worldwide, actually, and in the top 350 according to the Times Higher Education. If you look at this graph here, you see that all the underlying subject areas are the ones that we have programs taught in English in. And also that the asterisk that you see means that this school has been awarded top 5 in Italy ranking by QS. So it's quite a lot. And you can also see that there's a business management study going to the top 5 in Italy and top 300 worldwide. So we're very proud of these numbers, very proud of these rankings, and we try to be better every year. So, well, I think I've talked enough about what Cattolica is. Well, if you want more information, of course, you're welcome to ask questions. But right now, I would like to focus on the program itself. I'm going to do a short presentation, but then Professor Hu, I think she's going to be more than happy to give us a little more detail on that. So, first of all, the program is a 2-year master's degree taught entirely in English in our Milan campus. The reason behind this is, as I already said, Milan is the economic capital of Italy, so there's a lot of companies, a lot of institutions which operate in Milan. So we try to connect these realities with you. It is an MSc degree, so it's a laurea magistrale in management. That is the degree that you're going to be awarded. So what happens in the program itself? Well, it's a global class with 19 nationalities in one cohort and faculty coming from 12 different countries, meaning the international students are a big part of our class, and the faculty is also very various, and actually we have a proof of that here with us with Professor Hu. Also, the student-to-faculty ratio, as I already said, it's very, very low. It's low in general at Cattolica, but I think in management it is even lower than average, meaning that you can get like a lot of academic support. You talk to professors, you talk to fellow students, and literally it's like almost like a family environment, I would say. Also, there's two double degree opportunities with Boston University and University of Western Australia. That is a unique opportunity, I think, and it only applies to the program. But I want to hear more about the program from Professor Hu. So, Professor, well, first of all, if you want, you can introduce yourself, and also could you also briefly walk through the structure and the curriculum and how the different components of the class fit together?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Julia, for the introduction. I'm Professor Lala Hu. I'm member of the coordination team of the Master of Science in Management at Cattolica University. I teach marketing courses, undergraduate and graduate program, and in particular, at the Master of Science, I teach marketing communication in year 2. So today I'm here to give you an overview of our program. So as you can see from the slides, the Master of Science in Management is a 2-year general management program that is accredited by the prestigious European Foundation for the Management Development. It offers distinctive educational experience that integrates personalized learning with practical application and global perspective. The students can tailor their studies at the Master of Science by selecting from a diverse range of advanced and elective courses in management, so that these courses align their education with their personal interests and also their previous academic background. Then in year 2, each student is assigned to one of the 4 business labs that are digital consulting, luxury and fashion, multinational enterprises, life science, and technology. As Julia presented earlier, there are opportunities at international levels, double degrees with Boston University and the University of Western Australia, but also study abroad programs, collaborative online activities with international university that can enhance the program overall scope. In particular, we have different partner companies that collaborate with the 4 business labs. In here you can have an overview of the diversified company that operate in very different sectors. There are consulting companies, multinational companies, fashion companies, international, but also Italian companies that engage with our students throughout the business lab experience. They offer internship, field activities. So students already from the first year engage with companies, and then they can personalize their path to reach their professional aspiration, and they are able afterwards also to operate in an international environment. Julia, you have any questions? Or...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sorry, I was having a hard time unmuting myself. So, I was meant to ask, how are courses designed to progressively build both the managerial and analytical skills that, of course, our students need throughout the program?
So students already from the first year, as I was mentioning before, they can choose from elective courses, and all these courses equip students to address real-world business challenges. The teaching methods include group projects with companies, case studies, role plays, business games, and simulation. So the students apply the theoretical knowledge to realistic scenarios. Moreover, our faculty, that is very international, it also includes professor of practice. It means they are experts, professionals that bring their extensive experience to the classroom. They ensure a strong connection between the academic contents and the diversified business scenario. The program organizes guest lectures with practitioners, company visits in Milan, but also in the area where the company operates. And the companies offer internships, so students apply the classroom knowledge to management issues, both in year 1 and year 2, which is more specialized.
Okay, well, thank you very much. So actually, there's a question already about the business labs, so I'm happy that I meant to ask you this question. What role do business labs and project-based activities play in connecting students with real companies and real business challenges? We're gonna also talk about this later with Anna Chiara and Irene, but yeah, I wanted to ask you this.
Business labs are a distinctive part of our Master of Science. They offer a unique learning experience to our students, providing a strong connection with the world of practice. So in all of the 4 business labs that we saw earlier, each business lab is built with a specific educational formula. So we build a program together with the corporate partners, and these companies will work side by side with the students of the business lab throughout a variety of different field activities. They offer the internship, or they offer some consulting projects that engage the students in a team. Then in general, in both years, the students of the Master of Science in Management have the opportunity to present their work, their strategies to company managers, so that they can address different corporate challenges. I give you an example. This year, during my marketing communication course, the students were challenged by a leading company in the fresh foods category for kids to develop an integrated marketing communications focused on sales promotion and events, specifically for an international kids brand. The students worked on developing their projects in a team. At the end of the course, they presented their integrated marketing communications plan, and the winning teams afterwards, they had the opportunity to do a company visit at the headquarters of the firm and present their plan to the top management, including the CEO, the marketing team, and this top management practitioner really appreciated the job that the team did, and they congratulated with the students, and so afterwards there will be more opportunity to engage directly with the company and other companies as well.
That is very nice. So I have one last question, actually. How does the program stay aligned with labor market needs and evolving professional profiles, with the rise of AI and all the technological changes that we're going through?
So we constantly interact with the partner companies, key societal stakeholders in general, so that the program is aligned, stays up to date with the labor market needs. Then, as you mentioned before, students can access several support services. We have the Career Compass service, for example, where students get support with the development of their resume, networking opportunities. Also, they can get help with interview preparation and also job search strategies, so that students adapt to the labor market current expectations and also improve their employability. Moreover, our Master of Science leverages its broad alumni community, who remain actively engaged to our Master of Science by contributing to the courses. They serve as guest speakers. The alumni share their professional experiences with the current students. We celebrated our 10th anniversary last year. So our community is growing more and more. And I hope in the future, many of you will join our community. So I really hope to see you soon in Milan.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, actually, Professor. It was a pleasure, and it was very interesting to hear about the master. So I do have some questions now for I think it's Elisa, no, Anna Chiara, sorry. So Anna Chiara, you are going to be the first one to be interviewed. So she's an alumnus in management, and right now she's working as a business developer at Nadara, but we are going to let her introduce herself. So could you briefly do that and tell us what you studied before the MSc in management?
Hi everyone, good afternoon, and thanks Julia. I am Anna Chiara, and yes, before the Master of Management, I undertaken a bachelor in economics and management, still in Cattolica, but the Italian version course. And before that, I concluded my high school studies in the south of Italy, and then I moved to Milan 7 years ago, where I'm currently based.
Okay, thank you very much. And so I know, because I know you now, that you completed the program with a double degree in Australia, so the University of Western Australia we were mentioning before. So how did the international experience shape your academic and professional profile?
Well, definitely the double degree program in Australia gave me the opportunity to experience and the innovative academic approach, especially deepening my understanding of the Australian corporate world, which is not so common on the European side of the world, of course. It also gave me the opportunity to work and study with people from all over the world, understanding different and specific cultural perspectives. I would say that in general, the international experience strengthened my adaptability skills and enhanced my capability to navigate a diverse professional environment. And this is basically what also gave me the job I currently work for, which is characterized by a lot of traveling, going abroad, and speaking with clients. So I would say that this program definitely gave me a very boost of confidence in these terms.
Very nice to hear. Yeah, international experiences really shape students in ways you wouldn't imagine. So thank you. So Anna Chiara, again, when I met you, you mentioned that you took the Fashion and Industry Business Lab, and it was a key part of your journey. So could you explain what made you, what made that experience so valuable to you, and how did the lab translate into your collaboration with Save the Duck? So and please explain what Save the Duck is to our students as well.
Yes, of course. The thing I enjoyed the most about the business lab was interacting with fashion industry professionals who sometimes are seen as not easy approachable people. So I would have never imagined attending guest speaker lectures as well as visiting at quarters, going hand in hand with those people working in the sector. So this was the things I enjoyed the most about the lab. The lab concluded then with a field project, which is a strong collaboration with a company operating in the fashion luxury sector. And 2 years ago, the year I attended the business lab, the company was Save the Duck, which is a clothing brand doing clothes in a high sustainable way. So this project definitely gave me the opportunity to deepen my understanding of the sustainability practices and then develop a full communication plan to strengthen the ability of the brand to communicate their sustainability practices. The thing I'm most proud of is not only the ability of my group and I to deliver a very high quality project, and I'm not saying this myself, but this is the feedback we received from the company representatives. But the thing we are all most proud of is that some of the ideas, the communication ideas that we proposed to the company were then effectively incorporated in the communication business plan. So it was not only a university project, but it was a real life experience and a real life applied project.
It's very nice to hear that you actually do stuff and then it translates in things that companies appreciate and integrate in their processes. So I think it's very, very clear the way you pictured the business labs as an opportunity. So I have one last question for you, actually. So you are now working at Nadara, which you told me is a renewable energy company, and then you are also collaborating with Cattolica. So how does the MSc path that you took still influence your professional self today?
Yes, Julia, I still collaborate with Cattolica as a bachelor and master's tutor. So I help and support students navigate their academic path, and I somehow give back them the lessons I learned during both my bachelor and my master programs. When it comes to the Master of Science, the word that comes to my mind is community. Because as also you and Professor Hu said, the faculty and the members of the master often organize a reunion and meetings both for current students and for alumni to get us in contact and give us the opportunity to be constantly updated about the latest trends in the management industry. So I would say that the professional path I have currently undertaken is also the result not only of my studies on the books and the classes I have attended, but also the result of the opportunity I was given by this university, and also I think that the people I've met during this path really played a key role in the professional life I'm currently living.
Yeah, I always say that it doesn't really matter where you study, but it does matter a lot the network that you build while you study, especially if you study business, economics, management. So it doesn't really matter where you study. I mean, yes, of course, you can study in more prestigious or less prestigious universities, but the networking, that the possibilities that they give you to network and grow your community is definitely the most important thing that you should look at. And this is a clear example of how Cattolica actually gives you a community and the network to increase your value as a professional. Thank you very much, Anna Chiara, and I hope some of the students who are listening to you today end up being your students as well as a tutor. And I think I'm going to go with Irene. Irene, well, first of all, as I asked Anna Chiara, I also ask you to introduce yourself and talk about a little bit of your academic background before the MSc in management.
Hi, hello everybody. I'll start off by introducing a bit myself. Right now I'm working at EY. I'm a business designer precisely for EY Studio Plus, which is one of the customer-centric divisions that was born just some months ago. Graduated 2 years ago, so class 2024. And for what concerns my academic background, before the bachelor, I attended linguistic high school. I don't know how familiar you are with the Italian schooling system, but basically during high school, it's the first time you actually make, let's say, a preliminary choice about what you want to study next. And I opted for languages, so that's where I studied for language, and I became more familiar with humanities and languages. However, after 5 years, I understand that a little bit lacked of, I wanted to get the best of both worlds, let's say. So I decided to enroll for the bachelor degree in Cattolica, the economics and management course, entirely taught in English. And those 3 years were basically the years where I really got a hands-on approach on the managerial side and more business-oriented notions that really guided me through the choice of picking a Master of Science. And also during the last year, so the third year of my bachelor, I also had an international exposure because I took part to an Erasmus to France specifically. So I really got, the experience I had with languages, let's say, I stick to that, but I also added another domain, let's say.
Good. Well, thank you very much. And I also have a question about your motivation. So what motivated you to choose the MSc in management after going through the 3-year bachelor's degree in English in Cattolica?
Let's say that it was a little bit of a natural choice. I mean, it was a bit of the continuation of what I picked for the bachelor, but at the same time, when I was studying, let's say, the study plan about the courses of the master, what really caught me was the fact that I could choose and pick and choose all the courses and build my own curricular studies and courses. Like, really, that freedom really gave me, the experience that I could choose what I could study. So really shaping my future career. And at the same time, I really saw the effort that for which all the courses were built, because we had a really strong theoretical foundation. So it's more typical of the Italian courses, but at the same time, we had the hands-on approach, the company visits, and the collaborations with all the company stakeholders that was not, to taken for granted. And of course, the business lab that really helped me in, shaping my career.
Yeah, I can tell. And actually, so I really would like to ask about the business labs in particular, because we were talking about how it shaped, how they shaped Anna Chiara's career. Um, so, how would you say the business labs help you develop the practical skills and, also clarify your career direction? Because there's so many things you can do when you graduate in management. So, how did they help you with that?
I mean, for me, personally, the business lab really gave me the glimpse of what my work life would have been. Because, for example, for me, I picked a consulting business lab, so it really got me. Let's say it gave me the first step. Let's say at EY. Also, I got to interact with the company clients, or having strict deadlines, having meetings and updates about the new. How the project was developing, also interacting with many people in the companies. That could be your colleague, for example, or it could be your boss, for like different, like really gave me a different kind of conversation you can hold, and more specifically, what I really wanted to say is that for me it was really a North Star, because I knew that I wanted to do consulting. That consulting really interested me, but at the same time, I have, for example, experiences from other colleagues that were like 100% convinced that I were be doing, I don't know, like for example, an accountant for all their life, and then with the business lab, they said, you know what, maybe it's not what I could do. So it really gives you an opportunity that not many courses and masters can give. It's really a snapshot of what could do, a free trial, let's say.
And God knows how much you need free trials in this economy. So thank you very much. So right now you are working at EY. So could you tell us more about what your role is and how has the master's degree prepared for this environment?
Yes, as I was mentioning before, I'm a business designer here. What is like my role is about supporting the client that comes to us with a specific need or a challenge, for example, but they don't really know how to find a solution. So our basic project is, for example, understanding, like assessing. So leave the company. So, for example, having interviews with the different departments or the different functions, then understanding the real problem, because sometimes you have the symptoms, you don't really know the cause of the problem. And then after that, we have to deal with the solution. So it may be a new operating model, so designing a whole new organizational structure, or it may be something more about interfaces. So interacting with our UX UI team to really meet the client's need. What I really stress about UI is that we are really working together to better and meet the client's need, so we can interact with old internal UI structure to do so. And for what concerns what the master, for example, gave me to do this job, I mean, just in the last month, I have interacted with stakeholders from Brazil, from China, from the US, and from France. And I mean, I don't think that in many other courses you have, you were trained to do so, like to have so many languages spoken and to interact with so many different people, different cultures. That instead with my for example, my colleagues, my my friends also, I had the chance to talk to them and like to do group projects, to interact, to also know the cultural differences that countries and people may have.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. So that's, I would say, that's all for what regards you. So thank you very much, Irene. And I think it's time for us to go to Elisa. She is a current student. So I'm very happy that we also have a current student with us. Elisa, can you introduce yourself as well and talk a little bit about what you did before and what motivated you to choose this degree?
Yes, of course. Hi, everyone. I'm Elisa, and I'm a second year student of the Master in Science of Science in Management here at Cattolica. Before joining the program, I attended the Bachelor here in Cattolica in Italian, so the Economics and Management program, but in Italian. And before that, I studied in high school a scientific background, but I decided to go for management after my my high school diploma because it was more practical than theoretical. So a strategic view that I decided also for my master.
Thank you very much. So, Elisa, could you describe your daily life in the master's in terms of workload, teaching approach, and interaction with classmates?
Yeah, of course. Daily life in Master of Science is quite intense, I would say, but of course overall manageable if you stay organized and keep up with pace. The program is structured in trimesters, so after just 1 month from the start, you can have partial exams, and then after another month and a half, you have the finals. We have also classes almost every day and several group projects, so it's important to stay on track and don't leave everything behind. The teaching approach is very interactive and practical, I would say, with a strong focus, as my other colleagues have said, on teamwork and projects. Since the class is also relatively small, I would say that we have lots of interaction with classmates, and thanks to group work, you can quickly get to know everyone and build strong connection with others' colleagues.
Thank you very much. So, can I ask, you spent a period abroad in Lyon. I know that because I talked to you beforehand. And how did your Erasmus experience complement the MSc in management?
I would say that, of course, it's an international experience that I didn't have in my past. So it's, of course, a plus for my career and my CV from one hand. And from the other, it's something that goes beyond studying. In my personal experience, strengthened my adaptability, independence, and problem-solving skill. Being also in an international environment also improved my ability to work with people from different cultural backgrounds, more than being here at Cattolica, where I also strengthened my international adaptability, being with other people from different nationalities. And from an academic perspective, of course, it allowed me to approach a similar subject, but in a different teaching style and academic culture, which broadened my understanding of management topics.
Thank you very much. One last question, actually. So based on your experience and that of your peers, of course, how does international mobility add value to the program?
I think that it provides even broader perspective, as I have just said, on a global perspective. And studying abroad exposes students to different academic systems, different cultures, different teaching methods, and which help also develop a comprehensive understanding of management in an international context. I personally attended the Erasmus at Lyon Business School in Lyon, so it added a strong value for my CV, as it's ranking in the top 10 university worldwide. So it strengthened both my academic credibility and the professional profile.
Thank you very much. And I think we are actually done with everyone. And we are ready to take on questions. So Luke, if you could give me a hand and moderate the questions.
Yes, of course. That's where I come back in. So we've already received some questions from the audience, so we're going to go through them. I just want to highlight a couple of things. First of all, for the audience that's watching the recording, since you cannot interact live with us, but you can interact in different ways with us. You can still, for example, answer the polls as well. So by all means, please do that. And also you can write your questions. You can still do that. You can write them in the question box, and we will send them through to the staff of Università Cattolica. Okay, so just to highlight that. And let's get started with the questions. So we had a question from Astrita. Would you please explain regarding the labs and the terms in the second year, as is mentioned as term 4 to term 6? So can you say something about that?
Yeah, Professor Hu actually.
Yeah, I already replied, but give again the overview. The program is divided into 2 years, and each year has 3 terms. So the business lab are section of the second year, so that's why it lasts from term 4 till term 6. So the business lab experience is distinctive of year 2. And to also answer another question about the business lab, the students at the end of the first year choose the business lab that they would like to attend the following year. And we provide students with as many information as possible. We organize sessions with the partner companies. We involve students from year 2 that are currently doing the internship, so that they can learn more about the different business labs, the partner companies, and choose their business lab. After the end of year 1, the students are assigned to the business lab based on their preferences and also their average mark. And then afterwards, in year 2, they start the business lab experience.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. The next question is actually about the button that you just see now flying in on the screen already. So that is about scholarships. So there are a couple of questions about that, financial aid. So if you click on that button, it will actually lead you to the website about tuition fees and scholarships. So just to mention that, I don't know, Julia, if you want to add something else.
Yeah, actually, because I saw there were some questions also about the requirements and motivation letters. So we did prepare a slide on the requirements and the tuition fees and everything. So I think I will cater to all these questions by explaining this slide a little bit further, if you may. So first of all, we do have an application timeline, of course, and it differs based on whether you have an EU passport or you do not. For non-EU students, the deadline is going to be on the 6th of May, and for EU students, it's going to be on the 24th of June, 2026. The tuition fee is actually 6,850 euros per year if income is less than 150,000 euros. So as we mentioned, because there is a cap of how much you can pay based on how much you earn. There's also scholarships available. There's a specific scholarship available for non-EU students which is the UCSC International Scholarship, which reduces the fee to 6,400 euros. And then we also have income-based tuition fees, which are guaranteed by which are managed and administered by Educat. So you have to apply through Educat, which is I would say it's an entity which Cattolica has always worked with, and everything that they manage is about student services, student support, and everything like that. So if you go to educat.eu, you can also have a look at income-based scholarships. And also, last but not least, we do have entry requirements, of course, and the one thing that you need to be aware of is, of course, you have to have an undergraduate degree or about to hold one, and it has to be obtained by July 31st, 2026. And then also, because this is a pretty specific course, we do value undergraduate degrees in fields of study such as economics, management, business, but also engineering, social sciences, provided that you also studied a little bit of business law, financial management, marketing, business organization, management accounting. Again, they Arianna, I think she also mentioned the web page that we have, where you can find all the admission and tuition and entry requirements. So if you scan the QR code, you are going to be able to have a look at that page in particular for the management program as well.
Yep, and there it is on the screen as well. So you can either way go and continue to the site where you can find all the information as mentioned about the program. Good. Hope that answered those questions. We had a couple of those. I just want to make sure there was one question related to that. I'm not sure if you answered it about the motivation letter.
Right. Yes, we do need a motivation letter, and we also need a reference letter. So both of them have to be provided in order to complete your application. Again, everything is on website as specified before. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you. In the meantime, I open up a poll as well, just to get a feel for what kind of information you're still looking for. So I'll leave it open still a couple of minutes, but then, yeah, before we close off the session, let's see if there's anything else that needs to be addressed. There was another question about the labs from Manuela. Do we have any guidance that the university offers to help us choose the right path? For example, I like marketing and also finance, but I don't know if it's possible to choose two labs, or it's just one.
No, it's just one. I answered in the question section also, Manuela. I think she understood the requirement. There was another question about a testimonial from students of communication majors. I don't know if I understood the question correctly. So just now, Julia showed the requirements. So the courses that are mandatory to have in the study plan in order to apply for the Master of Science in Management. We did have several students with a background in communication and about their professional path. So students in management that study management and now work also as communication marketing professionals, like brand manager, communication specialist, digital marketing specialist. So it's a field where management students and alumni specialize in.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much. Hope that answered that question indeed about the testimonials. So question from Mina. I see that it was answered as well, I believe by the colleague that's in the audience as well to help. But just to make sure, so I applied for the program on the 21st of January. My application is still under review. So just in case that happens to others, do you know why is that?
Yeah, I can absolutely answer this question. We have a lot of applications, and we haven't even closed all the rounds of applications yet. So the applications do keep coming, and our international office is doing its best to evaluate each of the applications that come with the rigor and the level of deepness that you have to put into that. So yeah, you can absolutely you will absolutely get feedback. You just have to wait a little bit, especially after Christmas. It gets a little more busy when it comes to evaluating applications. So that's probably why. You're on mute, Luke, I think.
Yes, rookie mistake. So the last question I was saying, which also nicely ties into the poll feedback, the poll that I put in, the winning question there was also about housing. And there was a question also from Theodora about a possible university campus. Is there the option? Well, it was answered also by a colleague, but just again, for everyone to know, maybe you can...
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So our campus, just as a lot of other campuses in Europe, is a city campus. So unfortunately, it's not like the American campuses you always think about. We don't offer on-campus dorms, but we do offer some accommodation around campus as well. There's definitely, as I said, you can refer to Educat for this service as well, because they are the people you should refer to when it comes to student services. They tend to run out pretty fast, unfortunately, so we don't really have a lot of them to accommodate all international students, but there are also private housing options. You can rent your own flat, you can share with colleagues. So there is a particular part of our website where we give some advice on where to find accommodation in Milan, how to do it. So yeah, absolutely go check the website and look at all the different options.
Okay, thank you. And I see thumbs up coming as well. Before we run off, there was a last question. I see Lala, you're also about to answer, which is about the testimonial from the international semester year with Boston or Australia. Mentioned.
Well, for Australia, Anna Chiara, right here, so she's the testimonial.
Yeah, we heard
yes,
from her.
Here I am to take any question, Manuela, any curiosity about the program.
Yeah, then we can connect. So I don't know if there's a specific question. So meantime, I just want to still show this on the screen. So here's the QR, so you can go to the website where you can have the application form as indicated. And before, I don't know if Manuela is clear, then we have a question from Mina. How many ECTS points are required for the Master Management program from previous studies?
I'm not quite sure I understand the question actually, Mina, but you can go ahead and look at the website for the specific entry requirements. And if something is not clear again, I think you can also send us an email at international.inquiry@unicat.it explaining your situation, so that we can guide you through. And yeah, thank you very much, Luke, for showing the slide. I think this explains a little bit more of where you can find us.
Yes, and that goes for all other questions. If you may still have them or any inquiry, do by all means get in touch. Here you have the website and email on the screen, so you can reach out. And I don't think there's any further questions. So in that case, then we can slowly round off the session. Let's see, there was a comment from Manuela about the second year. Did you have the same methodology of real life cases and labs, etc. in Australia? Anna Chiara.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm not sure I can see the question. Can you please
It's
repeat
in
it
the
aloud?
chat, actually. So if you went to Australia, it was in your second year, is the question, and if you had the same methodology of real life cases and labs.
Yes, the program in Australia started between the first and the second year, because the academic year in Australia is flipped compared to the one we have here in Italy and in Europe and in the US, I think, as well. So the academic year started in February and it ended in November the same year. So to give you a broader idea, I started the international experience during the second term of the first year of my master's, and I ended at the end of the first term of the second year. So I would say that the international experience overlaps between the end of the first and the beginning of the second year of the Master of Science in Management. When it comes to real case scenarios, we did a lot of them, also, as well, both in Australia and in the Master of Science here in Cattolica. We take part in group projects, and every class has a group project, and the majority of them are based on real company cases. For example, in Australia, I did a case for IKEA, the furniture brand. Another one in Cattolica was the Save the Duck about sustainability. Then there was another one in Australia for the human resource class. We had to interview some talent acquisition employees in some consulting companies. So yeah, you definitely have a lot of real case group project to deal with.
Great, thank you very much. And I hope that gave the answer that he was looking for. And having said that, we will slowly round off the session. So I already saw some thanks from people that joined the session. So thanks everyone as well. I have a last polling question that actually I wanted to open up, and then I'll leave it to Julia to round off the session. So I'm just going to open that up, and then just to get your feedback about the session. Sorry to put it over your head, Julia.
It's okay. It's okay. So no, actually nothing much to add. Whatever you may want to ask. First of all, there's a very complete website, so please use it as much as you want, as much as you can, as much as you need. If you don't find the answer to your questions, you can absolutely email international.inquiry@unicat.it. Please allow us some time, because we deal with students from all over the world for more than 50 programs. So it's kind of difficult to actually be very, very, very fast. We try to be the fastest we can. You can also phone call us. We have a number. So if you happen to want to phone us, you can use the phone number here as well. We answer in Italy time, remember that. So business hours Italy time. So thank you very much for all your questions, and everybody who stayed until the end, and everybody who's watching, actually even the recording that we're going to give out soon. Thank you.
If I can add only one last thing, the Master of Science in Management is also on social media, on LinkedIn and Instagram. So you can find us there, get a glimpse, some spoiler on the activities that we do both years in all the courses. Elisa is part of the communication social media team. You can also take a look at the reels, the videos, the interviews with alumni, with students that did their exchange periods abroad. So you can really have a look more closely at the Master of Science. And as Julia said, please reach out in case you have further questions.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Have a good
you.
evening or good afternoon, wherever you are.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.